Good morning, it's Tuesday, October 7th, 2014. I'm Steve Miller, and this is the Asia Brief. Some pro-democracy protesters decided late Sunday and early Monday to withdraw from areas in Hong Kong. Demonstrators outside the chief executive's office in Admiralty said they would leave the streets near the headquarters on their own, as requested by CY Leung as a measure of goodwill. Quote, "Some citizens have a negative view of the days of protest. It's time for us to leave," said one student. Secondary schools affected by the Occupy Central demonstration resumed, while classes of kindergartens, primary schools, and special schools in the Wan Chai and Central and Western districts remained closed. The government noted it would closely watch the situation, deciding when classes would resume, said the Education Bureau. As expected, with the holiday weekend over, the number of protesters on the street Monday dwindled. About 20 police officers were posted outside the chief executive's office on Monday, a far departure from the previous night, when authorities and large crowds of protesters were present. In Mong Kok, over 100 protesters gathered at the intersection between Nathan Road and Argyle Street, although no major incidents occurred. In Causeway Bay, only a small number of protesters remained lingering in the streets. One 18-year-old student said, quote, "I don't know what the next move will be, but I won't leave," end quote. With students backing down to avoid what could have been a bloody encounter with riot police, some have wondered if the umbrella revolution is in decline. Analysts say dissent, both from within the movement and externally, could bode well for the government. Peter Chung of the University of Hong Kong said, quote, "By not retreating now, the organizers fall into the dangerous scenario of allowing the authorities, whether the Hong Kong government or Beijing, to drum up popular support to justify future measures, including Article 23, which was a controversial national security law that the government attempted to pass in 2003, but withdrew because of public outcry. Following the workday when government employees left their buildings, more protesters took to the streets. It's a pattern that may continue to repeat until the stalemate is resolved." Typhoon Phanfone is responsible for killing at least one person in Japan, a US Airman based in Okinawa who was washed out to sea. He was one of 3 US servicemen swept away who were reportedly out taking pictures. The 2 other men are still missing. Some 600 flights were canceled at Tokyo's Haneda airport because of the storm that brought significant amounts of rain, along with additional concern for mudslides. The search for the missing Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 has resumed with the arrival of the Go Phoenix, equipped with instruments and experts from Phoenix International. The Go Phoenix will tow sensitive underwater equipment over the seabed in the hunt for irregularities, such as large parts of the aircraft that could be still intact like the engines and fuselage, as part of a deep-water side-scan sonar search. Australian authorities have said they are cautiously optimistic that the plane will be located in the refined search zone, although they have said the process could take up to a year. Thank you very much for joining me today. Follow the Asia News Twitter and Facebook feeds for more news. The Asia Brief is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 international license.